What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be doing an early playoff prediction for the Western Conference. But before we start, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below who you think is winning the championship this year. I have the Utah Jazz as the 15th seed, the New Orleans Pelicans as the 14th seed, the San Antonio Spurs as the 13th seed. As the 12th seed, I have the Dallas Mavericks, and as the 11th seed, I have the Phoenix Suns. Moving on to the play-ins, as the 7th seed, I have the Los Angeles Clippers taking on the 8th seed, Minnesota Timberwolves. I have the Clippers advancing straight to the playoffs. I think their defense is too good for the Timberwolves to handle. Anthony Edwards will be under surveillance all game, and you're relying on Julius Randle to create for himself all game, and I don't think it's going to get you to win a game against the third best defensive team. The Timberwolves defense is also good, but not as good as the Clippers. Moving on to the elimination game, where I have the 9th seed, Sacramento Kings, taking on the 10th seed, Portland Trail Blazers. It might surprise some people, but I have the Blazers just sneaking into the play-in tournament over the Phoenix Suns, who are meant to be a contending team, with two superstars in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker on their team, but they're just not clicking, and their schedule to end the season is very tough. I've got the Celtics twice, the Bucks twice, and games against the Rockets, Timberwolves, Warriors, Thunder, and Knicks all coming up. But advancing to face the Timberwolves in the game for the last playoff spot, I've got the Kings. The Blazers should have no right being here, but the young core have all gotten better this year than last year. The scoring power on the Kings will just be too good for the inexperienced Blazers team to compete with. In the battle for the last playoff spot, it's between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Sacramento Kings, and I have the Timberwolves advancing as the 8th seed. I don't trust the Kings defense at all. Sure, Keon Ellis and Devin Carter are good defenders, but the Timberwolves have too many scoring options for the Kings defense to compete with. The Timberwolves also have the defenders to slow down the Kings scoring firepower. Moving on to the playoffs, where I have the 8th seed Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the 1st seed Oklahoma City Thunder, and I've got the Thunder winning in 5 games. The Timberwolves will have to take on another elite defensive team, and I don't know how they will handle it. Every punch they throw at the Thunder will block. Anthony Edwards will struggle mightily up against Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Cason Wallace, and Alex Caruso's defense. Then you got Julius Randle, who usually drops his production or gets injured come playoff time, and he'll have to be effective when he's being guarded by Jalen Williams, who's an incredible defender. Then you got Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert, who the Thunder match up incredibly well against in their 2 big lineups of Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. And finally, you got the guard rotation of Mike Conley, Dante DiVincenzo, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and the very occasional Rob Dillingham minutes. Moving on to the other end, and I'm a little worried about the Thunder's offense heading into the playoffs against elite teams. I thought they should have traded for another bucket getter outside of Shea, J-Dub, and Chet. They don't have that one player that can really score at will like other teams do. They have a lot of guys that can score, like Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, Lou Dort, and Isaiah Hartenstein, but not another guy that can get you a bucket on their own and change the momentum of the game. It's not going to be easy for the Thunder to score either, up against the Wolves defense. Jaden McDaniels will be matched up on Shea, more than likely. Anthony Edwards will be on Jalen Williams, and Rudy Gobert on Chet Holmgren. He has the ability to be a very competitive series, but I do have the Thunder coming out victorious. The next series up is between the 7th seed Los Angeles Clippers and the 2nd seed Los Angeles Lakers in the Battle of LA. I have the Lakers winning in 6 games. The Clippers defense is extremely good, but the Lakers have 2 unguardable players in LeBron James and Luka Doncic. But if there was any team that would match up well with the Lakers, it would be the Clippers' firepower of defense. Chris Dunn, Kawhi Leonard, Derrick Jones Jr., Ben Simmons, and even Amir Coffey are all bodies they can throw at the starter duo of LeBron and Luka. If we go on the other side, both teams are middle of the pack. The Clippers have a slightly below average offense, and the Lakers have had a top-rated defense since the trade deadline, but I'm not totally convinced it isn't a facade. But everyone on that team seems to be all buying in on the defensive end. Even 40-year-old LeBron and Luka, who's been a terrible defender his entire career. The Lakers' biggest weakness is their big man, and it's Steph. Jackson Hayes is an alright player, and has been much improved, both as a lob threat and as a defender, since Anthony Davis got traded. But center is one of the most important positions in basketball. Going up against Ivica Zubac, if these 2 teams were to face off, I'm expecting him to dominate Hayes and the Lakers on the glass and in the paint. It's not like the Lakers have a great backup center either. Their best options are Christian Koloko, Alex Len, or Maxi Kleber, who's more of a 4 but can play stretches at the 5. The Lakers have defenders that can give James Harden and Kawhi Leonard problems in Jared Vanderbilt if he can stay healthy, and Dorian Finney-Smith. Rui Hachimura is also a pretty decent defender if they need it. If Harden and Kawhi are struggling, the Clippers have other players they can rely on to get the ball in the basket in Norman Powell, Chris Dunn, and Bogdan Bogdanovic at times. The next series up is between the 6th seed Memphis Grizzlies and the 3rd seed Denver Nuggets, and I've got the Nuggets winning in 7 games. I was so tempted to pick the Grizzlies for the upset. I'm not convinced of the Nuggets at all. I think their defense is dreadful, and I don't think their offense will be as good come playoff time against more intense defenses. Outside of Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon, no one in the Nuggets starting lineup are good defenders, and going up against, say, the Grizzlies, who have multiple threats to score in their starting lineup, you're going to have to make Michael Porter Jr. defend, say, Desmond Bane. And if I'm a Nuggets fan, I'd be super uncomfortable if MPJ will have to defend some real scoring threats like Bane. Not that Porter Jr. is a horrible defender, but he's not the best, we'll put it like that. Moving on to the Nuggets bench, it doesn't get any prettier. If I'm Mike Malone, I'm running a 7-man rotation. There's no one off the bench that I trust in the playoffs other than Russell Westbrook and Peyton Watson, and even they have their struggles at times. But when you have the most unstoppable player right now in Nikola Jokic, you're going to be favorites for most playoff series, even though he's a terrible defender. If there is a frontcourt to slow Jokic down, you'd have to think the Grizzlies will be a top 3 favorite with their huge and defensive frontcourt of Zach Edey and a former Defensive Player of the Year, and a top 3 to 4 favorite this year in Jaren Jackson Jr. They also have the perimeter defenders in Gigi Jackson, Jalen Wells, Vince Williams Jr., and Santi Aldama, who are capable of making it a really tough time for Jamal Murray to make plays for himself and the team. The Nuggets will be really reliant on Christian Braun, Michael Porter Jr., Russ, and Aaron Gordon to step up their scoring, which we've seen in the regular season. Christian Braun has been much improved on both sides of the ball compared to last year. Aaron Gordon has proved to be able to step up when Jokic has been out, and we all know how hot Michael Porter Jr. can get. Up next is the 4-5 matchup between the 5th seed Golden State Warriors and the 4th seed Houston Rockets. I'm going with my first upset of the video. I've got the Warriors winning in 5 games. I don't know if it's really an upset or more so a lower seed winning. The Rockets are too inexperienced to compete with most teams, especially the Warriors, who have Steph Curry, who's a 4-time champ and a Finals MVP, Draymond Green, who's also a 4-time champ and has been to 6 finals, all with Steph. Then you add in their newest recruit, Jimmy Butler, who isn't as quite as experienced as the other two, but he has carried a middle-of-the-pack Heat team to the finals twice. Once where he lost to the Lakers in 6 games in 2020, then again in 2023, where he carried another middle-of-the-pack Heat team to the finals, where he got beat by the Nuggets in 5 games. Not to mention Kevon Looney and Gary Payton, who are both rotational players for the Warriors, were also a part of their championship team. You think that'll be all, but they're 2 young pieces in Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, who are also a part of their championship run as rookies. So go through their roster, and it's screaming of experience compared to the Rockets, who only have Fred VanVleet, who's the only one that's gone to the finals and won it on the 2019 Raptors, who ended up beating Steph, Draymond, and the Warriors in the finals. But this Warriors team is completely different, and the Raptors fans might hate me, but KD and Klay were injured in the finals. The Warriors are possibly the worst team to play in the first round if you're the Rockets, a team with nothing but experience versus a team with non-existent experience. The Rockets have the talent that could give Curry some trouble. Amen Thompson and Dillon Brooks are no slouches on defense. Tari Eason would be matched up on Jimmy Butler more than likely, which would probably mean he'll start, unless they go Thompson on Butler and Brooks goes on Curry full time, which would make more sense the more I'm thinking about it. Then when the second unit comes on, it'll be between the guys I just mentioned to take turns on Curry and Butler. Other than those two, the Warriors don't have too many scoring threats. Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, and Moses Moody can all score, but they really have to be in a rhythm to be effective. But the Rockets have a great defense that won't let these type of guys get in a rhythm. Then you got Jonathan Kuminga, who will have a tough time being effective when you're being guarded by Jabari Smith Jr. Moving on to the second round, I've got the 4th seed Golden State Warriors taking on the 1st seed Oklahoma City Thunder, and I've got the Thunder winning in 6 games. The Warriors took on a very inexperienced Rockets team in the first round, and now they take on another decently inexperienced Thunder team. I know they made the second round in last year's playoffs, but that was the first time for most of their core players, apart from Alex Caruso, who does have championship experience from that 2020 Lakers team, and Isaiah Hartenstein, who made the playoffs with the Knicks in the last 2 years. But the guys they'd be relying on to score most of their points will only be playing in their second playoff series. Taking on the most experienced team in the playoffs will make it tough, but talent-wise, the Thunder should be winning well. The Warriors may have the defenders to slow down Shai and Jalen Williams and Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, but they might struggle stopping Chet Holmgren when no one on their roster is that tall to contest his shots. This will probably mean Kevon Looney will start for their defense and rebounding up against the double big lineup of Chet and Hardenstein. The Thunder have the number 1 defense in the league, and that means it's going to be nearly impossible for Curry to make plays when he'll be constantly hounded by defensive guys like Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, Hassan Wallace, and even AJ Mitchell if he stays healthy or gets playing time. It will be tough for Butler to be Butler, but when he'll be guarded by Jalen Williams. But playoff Jimmy Butler is a different animal come playoff time. So who knows? This series should be a chess match and will hopefully happen in your life and will hopefully be exciting. Up next is a 2-3 matchup between the 3rd seed Denver Nuggets and the 2nd seed Los Angeles Lakers. And I've got the Lakers winning in 6 games. I've got the Lakers to finally get over their slump of losing to the Nuggets in the playoffs. And it'll be the first time without Anthony Davis. The Nuggets don't have close to the defense that's required to beat the Lakers superstars in LeBron James and Luka. Then they have to worry about Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Jay Vincent, and even Jackson Hayes, with the Nuggets' lack of rim protection. It's just too much offense for the Nuggets to handle defensively, and we saw just how good the Lakers' defense can be. It's just a matter of time till we see if it was a facade or if it will translate to the playoffs. They have been one of the only teams, not just this year, but in the last couple of years as well, to be able to really slow down and frustrate Jokic by not allowing him to even touch the ball. If they can do that again, they'll probably sweep the Nuggets. But taking Jokic out of the game for one possession is hard enough. So taking him out of a quarter, a game, or a series is borderline impossible. So as long as he gets involved, the Nuggets have a slight chance of advancing further. But if the Lakers were to really lock down and slow down Jokic, the Nuggets would really require guys like Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun, and Russ to stand up, which I just don't see happening. Maybe Murray will, with his track record against the Lakers, but that's it. The Lakers are overall better all around the park, and if they were to lose, it wouldn't be the end of the world by any means, but it would be pretty embarrassing how they haven't managed to beat the Nuggets in a playoff series in the past 3 years. That means I've got the 2nd seed Los Angeles Lakers taking on the 1st seed Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, and I've got the Thunder winning in 5 games. I keep talking about the Thunder's defense, but it's the number 1 defensive rating in the league for a reason. Their defense is elite, but their offense is nearly just as good, and that's what makes them so scary. There's no answer for Shai on the Lakers roster. No matter how good of defense Jared Vanderbilt plays on Shai, he will get his points, whether he hits the tough shots he usually hits, or toys with the defenders and gets them in foul trouble by baiting them to jump on his pump fakes. This should be another Chet Holmgren masterclass series against another team with weak centers. If he's as good as people think he is, he should dominate the Lakers on the glass and in the paint. But with his smaller frame, I don't know if he'll be as dominant as he should be. The Thunder generally have too much offensive punch for the Lakers to handle, and while the Lakers might have a more powerful punch, the Thunder's is more effective. Plus, you add in the Thunder's #1 rated defense, that puts the Lakers in a real vulnerable position. Unlike the Lakers, the Thunder have an all-around great defense. Their perimeter defense in Lu Dort, Alex Caruso, Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins, and even Shea. And they have interior defense too, in Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. When the Lakers just have Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith, who you know will give you solid defense the whole time they're on the court. And you have guys like LeBron, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes, and Gabe Vincent that you know can get you a stop if they really tried, but just struggle for consistency. And the lack of consistent defense is the reason I have the Thunder moving on to the finals. Before we get to my finals predictions, make sure to watch my last video to see my Eastern Conference playoff predictions and come back to this video. In my finals prediction, I have the best regular season team in the league taking on the third best regular season team. I have the #1 seed, Oklahoma City Thunder, in the West, taking on the second seed, Boston Celtics, in the East. This series is decided by Kristaps Porzingis' health. If Porzingis is healthy, I see the Celtics winning their second title in a row. But if he's not, which is pretty likely, I have the Thunder winning their first title since moving to OKC. I hate to base my opinion on injuries or what-ifs, but Porzingis has shown me that his health is a liability to the Celtics, not only this season, but over his entire career really. The Thunder's double big lineup of Chet and Hart should dominate the smaller frontcourt of Tatum and Al Horford. If we get these two teams in the finals, it should be the best finals we'll get in past years. Both teams have elite defenses and have fluid offenses to go with it. If we go through position by position, the Thunder's backcourt of Shea and Lu Dort is better than the Celtics backcourt of Drew Holiday and Derek White. Then moving on to the forwards, the Celtics aren't losing any battle to any team with the forwards of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, compared to the Thunder's forwards, who are still extremely good in Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. Then moving on to the centers, I'm taking the Celtics and Kristaps Porzingis over the Thunder, Isaiah Hartenstein. Moving on to the bench, I'm taking the Thunder's bench of Cason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Alex Caruso, and Jalen Williams every day of the week over the Celtics bench of Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford, Sam Hauser, and Luke Kornet. I pray that this is the finals that we get. If it is, I have the Celtics going back to back. That's gonna end this video. If you enjoyed it, please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below your predictions for the playoffs and the finals.